Hey, 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 hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Thank you so much for being here with me. It is 6:33 a.m., 29 degrees where I am. It has been so cold over these last couple of days here on the East Coast. I don't know about where you are, but it has definitely been very, very cold. It's the hate to walk your dog kind of weather. Hurry your ass up. How are you all doing this morning? How's it going? Hey, Cheryl Burnett, good morning to you. Pretty Saucy Leo, hey, good morning. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you. Good morning, no one cares. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning. And good morning to everyone who is just either waking up in the bed, getting ready for work, or those who are already at work. Thank you for being here this morning. I really do appreciate you. Members, moderators, subscribers, it's always a pleasure to be here to engage with you at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And if you'd like to be a member, I always keep the link in the description box, so consider doing that. So I'm gonna just jump right into it this morning. So today's topic is local news. So I'll be covering a lot of different things across the United States of America that have been sort of like, wow, what's going on here? I've broken them down now, so that way it doesn't seem so heavily salacious. I'm working on programming and formatting this show. So we're going to open up with a little bit of politics. We're going to start with some accidents. We're going to go into the missing. We're going to go into some freak crime stories, and then we'll wrap it up with the amusement park story that's a little bit sad. So please sit back, relax, and allow me to bring you the news. All right, so the first, I'm a little out of it, but I'll try to keep up. Okay, boo, thank you. Sit back, chill, and relax. And you can stop it anytime you want to, too. I appreciate you. You know I do. All right. So the first story I want to kick it off with is, now this is funny as hell. So Virginia lawyers, they are already using Will Smith's Oscar slap as a part of their defense strategy. Are you fucking kidding me? Didn't that just happen Sunday? What is today? Wednesday? They have already using it. So let me tell you some details of this story. So and it's so funny because the article leads with less than 48 hours after Will Smith smacked Chris Rock at Sunday's Oscars, a Virginia lawyer referenced the slap heard around the world while defending his client in court on Tuesday. So attorney Dirk Padgett brought up the infamous slap while speaking to jurors during closing arguments in the murder case of a 25-year-old man. The man was accused of murder for the March 2020 killings of his fiancée mother and the mother's boyfriend. He argued that his client snapped just like Smith did when he slapped Rock during the Academy Awards. Here's what he said: "Things you wouldn't ordinarily do, you do. Like Will Smith. I bet he wishes he could take it back, but he can't. You can't unbreak a stick." So, of course, the jurors weren't convinced, and on Tuesday, they convicted the guy of 2 counts of first-degree murder, and his sentence is scheduled for July 19th. And so it's just so funny how this is now turned into something that I don't think anybody expected at all. Even more, I think what we also talked about on Monday was the fact that something had to happen, whether it was going to be an apology, whether it's going to be a conversation. And now we have some the first bit of news out that the Oscars, the Academy launches their formal review after Will Smith slaps Chris Rock at 2020 Oscar. They're considering consequences for the Best Actor. And now, before I give you more details about this, even though this is still a little bit of celebrity, but it's tied into local, is that you knew something was going to happen. When you have actors like Jim Carrey come out and say, if Will Smith would have done that to me on stage, if I was hosting, I would have sued him for $200 million. I said, oh, okay, so now we getting folks coming out saying stuff. And then you had another actor saying, I can't believe that the Oscars condone that. I think it was Zoe. Kravitz who came out and said something like that. So, you know, in the moment, Monday, when we talked about it after the cycle of it happening on Sunday, we were still in the, well, you know, he's defending his wife. It's okay. We were still in these early conversations. And I kept saying, we got to wait. We got to wait. What we need to see next is an apology. We need to see what they're going to do. We need to see this publicly happen. Well, now we're seeing what happens when public opinion gets in before all of the machines can have their say so and working this out behind the scenes. You got folks out here really, like, you know, demanding something to happen to Will Smith. So, you know, of course we'll stay tuned, but what they're saying, what the Academy is saying is that the Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith at last night's show. We have officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws and California laws. Oh my God, these ads are just killing me. Okay, we're done with that. So we'll stay tuned to this story. So, you know, they're launching a formal investigation to see if there's going to be any consequences. Now, do I think Will Smith is going to lose his award? Do I think he'll go to jail? No. But what I do think that'll come out of this is the Oscars is trying to clear their name. So they're going to look for the easiest way to make the issue appear like we resolved it. So don't expect no Will Smith giving this award back. No, you'll probably see a coordinated conversation between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Somewhere the Oscars will get their name and their logo thrown in there, so it looked like a kumbaya moment and everyone is on the same page. So stay tuned to that. But it's interesting that these Virginia lawyers decided to use Will Smith's slap as a part of their defense in talking to the jury to get them to be on their side. Like, look, he snapped just like Will Smith snapped. So Will Smith can't take it back. He can't take it back. So, you know, and it's just funny, like how things pick up and manifest into things that we didn't expect them to manifest in. What do you guys think about that? Hey, oh, wow, the chat lit up. Hey, good morning, B1. Hey, Miss Jones. Hey, Honest Row. Hey, Brick Girl. Hey, the crew is in here. Thank you all. I appreciate you all for being here. Yes. Yes. Let's see. We all saw the bigger consequences of the slap. Highly weird hypocrisy and any works for the rich and us. I'm glad. You know what, B1? I'm glad because, you know, after our conversation on Monday, I started going around seeing other people's lives. And it was just almost like everyone was like, I'm glad he did that. I'm like, hold up now. How can you be glad that he did something like that, but not realize that that is not behavior you do conduct at an event like that? That's not it. I don't, you know, every man should be like a Will Smith. Are you fucking kidding me? Every man should be in their place of work and have behavior like that. I don't condone that shit either. I don't condone it on his behalf. And then it came out that Chris Rock didn't even know the wife had alopecia. Now, are you fucking kidding me? So, I want to save this conversation for Friday because, like, I can go on and on about it. But yeah, it's just to me, it's like I you know, Monday I started beginning like, wow, he really did that. And then as it became out in the media and people began reporting on it and getting more celebrity feedback, especially people who are a part of the Academy, it became clear that, you know, it's a bigger conversation there. You know, it's not just, oh, Will Smith and Chris Rock. Well, it's the Academy programming. You know, what kind of message are you sending? So they can miss me with all of that, you know. And then someone else said, you know, I think it was a white comedian they called, I don't know what his name, but they said if the other alternative white comedian who was allegedly supposed to host had he cracked that joke, and Will Smith, they said Will Smith would have never went on stage like that, would brought that kind of energy. And I said, now that would have been a different kind of public backlash. That would have been a whole different kind of public backlash. And so my thing is, just because Chris Rock is a part of the family, don't hit me. Because Chris Rock is cool. I think I would have knocked your ass the fuck out with a mic or something. As I kept thinking about, like, this man has this moment. It's in the papers. It looks like this. So, gotta stay tuned to this story. We have to stay tuned to this. Will Smith just set up comedians to get assaulted. Did you see the other guy who got slapped? No, it was another white man sitting in a crowd, and somebody hauled up and slapped him. I'm like, are we really entering the phase where comedians are now about to just start getting slapped on stage. Like, you really did set up people for the fail. Good morning, Mildred. Thank you for being here. You think Chris Rock will do Red Table Talk? You know what? Considering how much his tickets have sold out at his most recent performance now, like his upcoming shows, they've sold out. I don't think he needs Red Table Talk. I think they would need him more than, you know, he need to go sit there and have a conversation. So my first answer is no, but who knows what kind of politics they're gonna have behind the scenes. But I would say no. Like, let them go in there and have a conversation with each other. Jada, why you think I did that? Let them have that kind of, you know, that I don't think he should go on their platform. I think, you know, it should be a neutral platform for them to have a conversation, because I don't want Jada or her mom sitting there in these come to Jesus moments when it really should be a conversation between these two men. You know, let's remove Jada. Let's remove all of that, because honestly, it don't even need to go that far, you know. Hey, good morning. Good morning. You know, I was laughing. You had me cracking up yesterday at that video. I'm like, y'all go check out Surviving Andrew Caldwell, and also check out, I put it on my community wall. Go check out the latest and greatest with Sis. Okay, good morning to you. I'm planning on slapping my supervisor this afternoon for reusing my tea bag. I hope I can get away with it. I'm blaming Will if I don't. Okay, listen, I mean, it sounds like you might have a plausible case here. You know what I'm saying? So what message are we sending if we say it's okay for Will to do that? He was protecting his wife. I wish I had a man that did that. I said, really? Okay. I hope your man got Will Smith's stature and money, because it not every situation is the same kind of thing. Will definitely knew who to try. Right. I don't know any other black community that would have taken that. Yeah, it was a lot of people that was like, nah, I'm not going. And then in the moment we were quiet about it, we were like, oh, that's just Will, you know, it's cool. Look at Jada. We was trying to be relaxed about it. But as we got closer and closer away from the event, more and more away from the event, people started thinking like, hold the fuck up now. And his apology, it just wasn't as sincere. Then you get all these videos of him dancing in the back. I mean, he's dancing to Getting Jiggy with it at the Oscars party like ain't nothing happened. I'm sure people were like, okay, all right. So this is gonna be interesting. I always crack up. Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Baby, that's something you can never take back. Good morning, human hysteria. It's good seeing you. Hey, Cash App and bullshit. It's good seeing you. Good morning to you. So we just really open with this story. Virginia lawyers are using Will Smith slapping Chris Rock as a defense in their case. Though they lost, they didn't win. They tried to win juror sympathy. So the next thing I wanted to talk about in politics was Emmitt Till's Emmitt Till anti-lynching law, federal law, has been instituted, and I wanted to tell you all exactly what it is. So basically what this law is that any kind of, you know, any crime that could be prosecuted as a lynching when death or serious bodily injury results from a conspiracy to commit a hate crime. It was signed into law this afternoon on March 29, 2022, yesterday, making it a federal hate crime as well. So it was initiated by a lot of the Emmitt Till family. And so now what most people are saying is that they issued a statement because they want to open up his case again under this same kind of law and this statute. So it'll be an interesting take on how they apply this law to something that is already, you know, that has happened. I think it's Reverend Bobby Rush from Chicago. He's the one who led the bill in the House. Is so many other victims. He said it's a victory for the city of Chicago, a victory for America, and a victory for Black America. And I think it's also great for us to understand exactly what, you know, is classified as lynching, which is associated to a hate crime. And so, you know, your intent to hurt me because I'm Black, or your intent to hurt me because of my religion, all of those things can be classified as a hate crime. And now under this, you know, any acts, any bodily harm or anything like that, now under Emmitt Till's law, can be prosecuted as well. So I don't know if y'all remember the story we did last week where the Black man was at the gas station and he was attacked by the white couple. because of the color of his skin. And I actually did an upload of that on my channel. I'll re-upload that. So that's a prime example of something that now can be classified under this law outside of the existing hate laws that we have in America. So I think it's a great win. I think it should be celebrated. I don't care if it took them 200 fucking years. It needed to be done, and it's a shame that it wasn't already in play. You never know these things until it's like, oh wow, that really wasn't something that could be prosecuted in the court of law. So kudos to Bobby Rush, kudos to Chicago and everyone who pulled that together. Good morning, AJ. Good morning. I was lucky because my family is educated and has financial stability. That ain't all of us. Good morning, Coco. Aren't they about 75 years too late? I get the theory behind it, but it seems kind of pointless. Yeah, I think it just adds more weight to anyone who is going to prosecute this in law. So using the hate law, the federal hate law, and then adding this onto it may add an additional layer of sentencing. It may, even, lessen the blow in terms of providing evidence or weight because you have this other statute. So it just makes it, lawyers know what they're doing. It makes it stick. That's what it is. It's just like, it makes it stick. It's just like having all these anti-gun laws or these gun restrictions. It's like you have to have one and one and one and one, so nothing can get through the gap. So I think this is one of those things that won't allow anything to get through the gaps. You can't say you hit me because of self-defense when I know it was a hate crime, and then I got bodily injury. So now you were lynching. It's part of a lynching. So I think that opens up a bigger set of, it goes from 2 years to maybe 4 years, or it goes from a penalty of, probation, to solid, confinement. I think it's great. So no justice for Emmitt, but we'll put a policy in place bearing his name. Too late for me. I get it. Yeah, it could be, it could be late, too late, but you never know what's coming up in the future and how applicable this could be. I definitely think it was time. It's beyond time. Especially when you have kids going to school now under these very political times, and you never know, what might come out of an interaction or engagement between kids of different races or religion. And so I think we need to have all of these, even if it was, another Rosa Parks. Even if we enacted something, I think it's critical. It's never too late for us because we never had the opportunity. We never even got the chance. Good morning, Kingsman. Good morning. Too bad they couldn't charge the wrench who falsely accused him. Okay. I get what you're saying. It is a sensitive, heavy topic. Yeah, it is. Rest in peace, Emmitt Till. We getting through politics this morning. All right. So the next thing in politics. Now let me be honest with you all, and I'm going to be very brutally honest with you all because I know I have mothers and fathers and parents and stuff in the chat and, who watch this video. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed the Don't Say Gay bill into law. Now, we knew about this for a while. We've been talking about this story for over a couple of weeks now. And, you get more details about it. So I have a very iffy take on this. So the bill Don't Say Gay bill has been permitted, has been signed into law. And what it does is it makes it inappropriate to teach kindergarten kids that they can be whatever they want to be. He even suggested that such topics were especially not appropriate in Florida. Critics have now, sort of came after him about this, especially Disney. Disney now has decided that they're going to throw money behind supporting the repeal of this law. And so in Florida, what they're saying is that they recognize that in the state of Florida, parents have a fundamental role in the education, healthcare, and well-being of their children. And we will not move from that. The law dictates that kids attending school between kindergarten through the 3rd grade must not be taught about these topics because it's not age appropriate. Now, my thought is, do I disagree? No, I don't disagree. I had to have this conversation with my friend. My friend was like, so you don't think I said, no, I agree with you. I agree that there are topics that children should not know about between kindergarten and 3rd grade. Hell fucking yeah. Are you kidding me? What I don't agree with is this bullshit here. Don't say gay. I don't agree with you titling this bill Don't Say Gay. Gay is a collective of people. Gay is like, you can't, because Don't Say Gay belongs to a group of people. There are so many other things you can say. Why can't they say gay? Why can't it's a body of people? It's not. It's almost like you saying black. Don't say black because you don't want us to talk about critical race theory in school. So don't say black. And the whole don't say woke shit that pissed me off too. So I'm really, really upset that it passed, and it passed with the name "Don't Say Gay." That is really offensive. It's extremely offensive. Does that mean I don't understand and don't get the logic of the bill? I understand it. I get it. I think it's parents' rights to determine whether they want their children to be exposed to that kind of stuff, especially kindergarten through third grade. But should they walk around saying that, yeah, the Don't Say Gay bill, the damaging effect of just that title for someone who lived under that, that law, going to fourth and fifth and sixth, understanding, like, you remember Don't Say Gay? I don't know. I don't care how they remembered it. But I think that I remember when I was growing up and No Child Left Behind came out. I think it was like 95, 96. And I remember hearing No Child Left Behind. And it just became such a derogatory term because it sounded like you're just talking about black kids. And so as I got from younger to older, I understood, I'm thinking No Child Left Behind was something that, was supposed to be supporting me. And as I'm getting older, it sounds like, it's only for those kids, the poor kids. Well, what do you think Don't Say Gay is going to do? So these kids are growing up under this idea that there's don't say gay policy that teachers have to, sort of curate in their classes some way, somehow. Then we get to the fourth and fifth and sixth grade where there's conversations about that kind of stuff. And what does that transition look like? What did we really think this through? If there's anything to repeal, I really think you really should rethink that title. And I think that's why you're finding a lot of organizations like Disney and people are finding this offensive. You could have titled this anything and people would probably accepted it. But the fact that you're trying to be provocative by saying Don't Say Gay, okay, you're going to reap what you sow. I'm telling you, karma's a bitch. You can't, expect to be you do stuff like this. Now, what are your thoughts about this? Like, do you support it? And I mean, because I don't, if you support it either or, it doesn't matter to me. I think that it's important for parents, though, to hone that right of what they want their child to be exposed to. There are certain things that heterosexuals do that I probably be like, no, I don't want my child seeing that shit. So I think it's up to the parents. Joe Biden is a part of a good old boy club. He was on the side of the murder who killed Emmitt Till, allegedly. Things are still very politically charged in some areas. Yes. Good morning, Egyptian goddess. Thank you for coming through. Hey, good morning, Rockwell. Accountability. Good morning. I'm getting ready for my day. I'm listening. Okay, cool. Thank you. Gay means happy. Homosexual. LGBT is the proper term. Santis is making himself look real ignorant. I agree. They don't say part is a rights violation. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I remember learning about male and female anatomy in second grade, and that was the extent of it. They definitely should have worded the bill differently. Right? Like, what are you doing? And it's almost like what he's doing. So this opens the door that now that this kind of language is used to title a bill, what do you think they'll start doing on other bills? How provocative they'll start becoming. And it allows other states to look at Florida like, well, they got a Don't Say Gay bill. So let's do something like that. I think it was Utah. Utah's transgender athlete bill was signed by the governor, and I think it was vetoed by the governor, and I think the Congress came in and swooped in to save the day on that bill because they're also pushing that transgender athletes should not be able to compete in like female sports. And so that's a big deal over there, and I think we covered that before, but it's definitely tricky, and it's all semantics. Like, you can package so much stuff into a bill if you have the right wordsmith there, but if you are just acting off emotions, you're going to get a Don't Say Gay bill and stop say woke. Well, are you fucking kidding me? Don't say woke, or this shit is under. Okay, thank you. Don't Say Gays made such much progress. This is just going to push, isn't it? Ain't it? And then some people are just ragging it on like, oh, this is great. Yeah, it's great, but you understand that it's not so much great that you're running around here saying, oh, the Don't Say Gay bill. I can only imagine that teachers who are, part of the LGBTQ community having to enact this law, this passage in their classroom and have conversations with it. Don't Say Gay. I guess they're gonna title it DSG, Don't Say Gay, DSG. That's probably what they'll do. DSG. We can't do that. But now you have this language floating out there. Don't say gay. Like, he knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, it's all politicals. I'm so happy that I and my family didn't a public school education. I was taught math, science, history, biology, reading and writing, sexuality, never. Oh wow. Where is the Don't Say Moist bill? Okay. Okay. No, seriously. Where is the what just happened? Oh, we're gonna get into it later. We'll get into it. That poor child, No Child Left Behind, worked against the very kids they were supposed to help. Very counterproductive, and I don't think people understood the dangerous loopholes their children can fall into. Baby, that No Child Left Behind act was horrible. It was horrible when they tried to switch all of the curriculum so that kids were learning on, especially in New York State, where kids across the state were learning on the same level, so that no neighborhood or community was different, and they try to put everybody on the same level. Well, all the schools who were already low performing dropped way down to the bottom. So what do? Close all of them damn schools. Now the only schools open are those schools who they deemed effective. It was just a mess in my area. It's like, and then I go back home, schools are two schools in one. They call them campuses now. Everybody's in uniforms. It's just a mess. I meant where is the Don't Say Moist bill? That's not allegedly about Joe Biden. It's fact. It's his history is all over the internet and books. Good morning, Sticks Girl. Good morning, Queen Diva. Good morning, Voodoo. Hey, good morning to you. They broke Common Core out for kids who didn't even know regular math. That bill was to leave all those children behind. There you go. And there you go. That's exactly what it did. It disenfranchised so many people. Oh man, I can give a whole conversation about No Child Left Behind. And that's what I see in Don't Say Gay. Like, your intent could have been great. It could have been called, the elimination of mature topics in classrooms, something along those lines, elimination of sexual topics or whatever in classrooms of kindergarten through third grade for these reasons. And in those reasons you could say, asking about gender and stuff like that. But to just lead off with Don't Say Gay, it's like you're already propositioning what your intent is. And so, okay, it's cool. But like I said, karma's a bitch. So what he does now, he's not going to expect it, but it'll come back to bite him soon. Just like we saw in Houston when the governor put the criteria out about child abuse, saying that if they're talking about, gender and doing transitioning for their child, that's considered child abuse. Well, lo and behold, one of the damn people who work in the office where the law originates from has a transgender child who's going through counseling services. So that means you now have to fire your employee, or because that's child abuse, right? A mess. That's what I'm saying. Karma has a funny way of coming back to tell someone that that's wrong. That's wrong. Charter schools that cannot help the community, only a selected few. Those was considered special kids who were selected in the lottery. We had a lottery too. And our charter schools caught on so late after the whole charter school swing. We was all about the IB, International Baccalaureate Program, and AP courses, but that charter school caught on late. All right. So yeah, Ron, screw you in the title of this bill. Your intent, I understand, giving parents their rights back, but I think your intent is, the titling of this bill is very offensive, but you're going to get yours, sir. Yes, you are. So let's move on to another political thing. So Applebee's franchise exec has been fired after an email was leaked from him suggesting that they should lower new employee wages due to the rising cost of gas prices. Baby, them employees rose the fuck up and said, not today, and never, ever. So basically, the executive, Wayne Prankotz, sent out an email to some of the leadership at Applebee's, basically letting them know that, I think this is the time that we should begin looking at, saving money, cutting back, because inflation continues to climb and gas prices continue to go up. That means more hours employees will need to work to maintain their current level of living. He said that problems persisted even before the email was sent out. And so what he said in the email is that, so when the bartender is the only one on a shift alongside the chefs and the manager, it can get busy out of nowhere. Servers were making close to $60 a night at the location, and that the store couldn't get anybody to actually show up to the store after being hired. So they fired the guy. The guy was fired, and Applebee's issued a statement that says the individual has been terminated by the franchisee who owns and operates the restaurants in this market. Our team members are the lifeblood of our restaurants, and our franchisees are always looking to reward and incentivize team members. And so, basically, it was a lot. It was this one Applebee's in Kentucky. I believe it was in Kentucky. And I'm so proud of them. I'm really proud of this, these in Kansas. They're in Kansas, actually. And they got wind to this email that the execs were getting ready to prepare to start paying lower wages and get rid of a bunch of staff. And dude printed the email. Now he's the manager of the location. He printed the email, passed the email out to everybody in the restaurant, told everybody in the restaurant your meal is free, and quit on the spot. And then the rest of the people with them quit as well. So after that day, they quit. And I said, that's the fuck you supposed to. I mean, if you have it like that, I get it. If maybe you have another job lined up or you know how to do it. But that is the kind of activism you need to respond to these kinds of things. And they're not the only business where people have got away with cutting wages, have gotten away with demanding more hours for less pay. It sucks. If you're not in currently at my job, it's a system over 100,000 employees. So you can't even get away with cutting hours to subsidize something because people will come out the woodworks. Okay. I'm talking about people will come out the woodwork. So in considering Applebee's isn't a large franchise, I give them kudos for, really standing up for themselves. How dare you? And you all can actually attribute to this, when you go to restaurants, it isn't a lot of wait staff. People are not coming back to these jobs as much as they say they are. People have found other routes, other things to do, Grubhub, Uber Eats. So for those who are there, you mean to tell me you want to cut their wages already? And knowing that even if we tip them, their tip still has to be divided amongst the rest of the people there, you got to be shitting me. So kudos to Applebee's staff for standing up for themselves. Right. Are you kidding me? You going because gas prices are rising for you to get the trucks to deliver food to our store. You think you're going to cut it out my wages? Bitch, you are all kind of backwards. What's going on? If that isn't the definition of corporate greed, at its highest level, I mean, what does gas prices over there have to do with me doing my job over here? I'm still coming to work, and when I go home, I got to pay my own gas price. So are you cutting it from over there to give me a gas card on the low? Like, what are you doing? If Florida doesn't improve state grade averages, this bill becomes pointless. Well, that might also be a part of another piece of legislation. We never know what this big picture might be. Good morning, BB Nice. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you too. I wonder who leaked it. Probably somebody from leadership who thought that shit was crazy. I'm so down for it, though. I think I would have been on the side to walk in there passing it out. Oh, no. Is that legal to just lower someone's hourly rate? Isn't that against the law? No. So what they were going to do was start hiring newer employees at a lower rate and cut the hours of the older folks so that it's subsidized. You see what I mean? So that the higher working people who've been there for a long time, they're going to work less hours to balance it out. And the new people are going to come in on a smaller, wage, but work more hours. That's all kind of wrong. You all kind of wrong for that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Team movement, right? Okay, we all would have been in there. And they gave the whole people free meals. I can imagine sitting at the table. Oh, bro, that's on you. You got it. For real? I'm about to call. I got a couple people. Can they come up here too? All right. I called a whole clique. Come on up here. Come through. Yet the owner of Applebee's is making more money than a small African country. And I think Applebee's is a part of a franchise of businesses, a bit of restaurants. Yep, that's what they do, especially if there isn't a union. Exactly, right? Applebee's ain't shit, right? They ain't shit. All right, so are we done with politics? All right, we done with politics. So we're gonna move into the accident portions of local news. And I only got two stories for this piece. And yes, they're a little bit but just know that they're accidents. They're not, the intent behind this was allegedly accidental. So the first one I want to get into, I posted it on my community wall, and me and B1 had a nice go back and forth. She was like, why are we getting just stories of Black people doing crazy things? And so I wanted to give you sort of an overview of these kinds of stories. So this is more of like an accidental. It wasn't intentional, but I'm going to give you some more of it. So the man was charged after 12-year-old nephew fentanyl overdose allegedly made child clean the drug lab. Now, this story was so sad, y'all. It was really sad. I'm going to play a video clip, but I just got to just give you some context. So the child was living with his uncle, right? And as a form of punishment, he told him to go and clean this area. And in the area, it had trays of, with fentanyl residue on it. But if you know anything about like drugs, sometimes you can't see it when it's all picked up, but it's there, even in the air. And so he had spent his time cleaning it up, doing what his uncle told him to do, forced to do it. And nothing happened, went to bed. But it wasn't until he got on his school bus the next morning where the folks saw him unresponsive and was asking, are you okay? And he was convulsing. Check this out. It's really, really sad. A really sad story.
An Camden County man is behind bars accused of causing the overdose death of his 12-year-old nephew. Prosecutors say 35-year-old Troy Noakes of Blackwood lived at the home with the child and manufactured fentanyl there. He's accused of asking the child to clean paraphernalia that contained the drugs without wearing any protective gear. We first reported last month the boy was found unresponsive on a school bus back on January 24th and died at the hospital. Joanna Johnson's also been charged over hindering the apprehension of Noakes.
How sad. And so this young child, apparently he had a drug lab in the house. The boy was reportedly living at the home with his uncle, who was allegedly manufacturing synthetic opioids. Authorities say that just days before the child's overdose.
The Camden County man is behind bars accused of causing the overdose death of his 12-year-old nephew. Prosecutors say 35-year-old Troy.
They say that Noakes forced his nephew to clean the paraphernalia that contained fentanyl. Witnesses claim the child was not wearing gloves when was handling the contaminated items. He was taken into custody Thursday on a variety of charges, including aggravated manslaughter, endangering the welfare of a child, strict liability for a drug-induced death, maintaining a drug production facility, and employing a juvenile in a drug distribution scheme. Extremely sad. And rest in peace, young man, and my condolences to the family. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if the mother was around or not, but it's completely sad that you let your child, be exposed to something like this. So I'll stay tuned to this story. I don't think there's any more details that I could share with you all in terms of this story right now. It's still a developing thing. He was taken into custody, and so we'll see. Okay, that's done. Hold on. All right. So let's move on to the next story. Where were the parents? Parents weren't around. I think the parents gave both. I think parents may have been on drugs. I'm not sure. That's why I said I wanted to find more of the story. But the parents weren't around. He had custody. The child was living with him. They arrested another woman because they said that she was trying to tamper with evidence, clean up the scene, basically clean the house up. And I don't know, because they aren't saying anything about the mom or the family. It just makes me think that they weren't around like that. Clearly a damn shame. Clearly it is. Yes, charge them all. Hey, Diesel, good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for coming through. I blame the uncle and neighborhood because they knew who that house was, a drug house, such a senseless loss. Such a senseless loss. It is. And it's, it's bad when the child has to go to school and the people at the school have to find him like that. Like this wasn't something that was done at home. I wonder if there were signs that this child was not living in the best environment or condition. We will never know. We'll never know. All right. The next incident. Now I have the video of it. You all let me know if you want to see it, but I don't know if you've heard. The 12-year-old girl fatally shoots her cousin, then herself while on Instagram Live in a freak accident. And it was a really, 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 really freak accident. Now I have the video. I don't know if any of you all saw it. I saw it, and it's really crazy. Now, what they're saying is that this is a murder suicide because I didn't see it in the video. Please. They're saying it's a murder suicide, that once the girl accidentally shot her cousin, she shot herself. But in the video, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like a murder suicide. It looks like a total complete accident. So again, I have it. It's just I don't know if I want to play it on live on YouTube. So but let me finish giving you details of this story. So everybody was getting together to celebrate. So the younger kids, they got a bed and breakfast. They were making a video, and Paris was playing with the gun, but it went off and hit him. She continued explaining that her daughter, who was one of 9 children, dropped the gun before it went off and killed Karan, who had just celebrated his birthday. After that, Harvey says Paris then picked up the weapon by its barrel before it fired at her, calling the incident a freak accident. However, police have characterized it as a murder-suicide, but Harvey's mom denies it was a suicide. Paris' grandmother, Susan Dyson, added that the pair were not arguing at the time of the shooting, because they were not arguing at the time of the shooting. If you see it, they were playing with the gun when they shouldn't have been. Of course, they shouldn't have been doing it. I think it should have went off. It went off by mistake. And so I'm just trying to see if I can drop the link to the video for you all in the chat. That way I don't have to. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll drop the link to the video. All right, that's what I'll do. I'll drop the link in the video in the chat. What y'all think? Lock them all up. Okay. Y'all excuse me for interrupting, but does anyone else have motherfuckers on the job interrupting my show with dumbass questions? All the time. I read that too. Grandma lived in the house too. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird because it's like something else is going on there. They all failed the child. They did. I heard about this one. Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy, Voodoo. Murder, suicide among cousins that's young. Was that really? No, that is not. They really was playing with a gun though. But I don't think it was murder, suicide. No, I haven't heard of this story. I don't know. I know. Don't put it on YouTube. It'll be against guidelines. Okay. I'll just drop the link. Why did these children have these guns left around them? And then why would you be on a live? Like, what is so like? It's just so weird. They were just coming from celebrating this man's birthday, and all the family was trying to get together, do a little kickback after the birthday party at the crib. So the kids were gonna go to the bedroom. All the kids were gonna go into bed, breakfast in bed, and everybody else is gonna be doing their thing. And I guess the one cousin who was on Instagram Live had, grabbed the camera, grabbed a gun, and in the process of grabbing the gun, it went off and shot Karan. And then when she tried to pick it back up, it went off and it was faced to her and it shot her. And as you see in the video, she literally goes to pick it up and knocks herself back too. It was really, really horrible. They say the gun was a 14-year-old. See, and there we go. And now you have it. I saw the clip. It was awful. Definitely an accident. That's what I was saying, AJ. It was definitely an accident. That didn't give me murder, suicide. How quick we go to classify shit murder, suicide. And then the shit we do need to classify murder, suicide. We talking about, what did they say about the black girl, the black woman who got killed in the hotel with the white man? What did they say that was? Suicide. But the shit, they call that suicide. But this shit they want to call murder suicide. I need y'all to pick it. I need you to choose. I need you to choose and make sure it's right and correct. I saw the video, so tragic. You hear a man in the back saying they got the gun. Why aren't people putting their guns in lock boxes? The homeowner needs to be charged. Absolutely. The homeowner needs to be charged. I think, parents need to be also pulled into this. Everybody in that damn house need to be questioned. It needs to be brought to the forefront. I'm so sick of these crazy adults. Okay, Stiggs, you getting ready? I hope you have a good day too. People are letting kids be on adult situations and business, and it's a shame. It is. And then other kids see, and they're so infectious. Other kids see you on Instagram doing that, popping off, so then they want to try it. And it's weird because this new generation, I'm not part of it, but it's almost like they're testing death, with the drugs. They pop perks and they pop all these pills. If you watch, like, I'm a Twitter fanatic, so I watch these little videos that gets put up back on TikTok. And they're popping pills like it ain't nothing. Like, just, it's nothing to them. And doing all these things, guns in the air. And it's like, it's infectious because one group see you do it, the other groups want to see you do it. That's my fascination with this new group coming out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, called the Kia Boys. They literally go around, and the Kia girls, they go around stealing folks who got Kias, whether you're driving it or not. They'll hop in the car, shoot at you, get you out the car. They take your car and they go crash it. Cause a big scene. They do it. They go and steal Kias. There's been people who had cameras in their neighborhood saying, "Here come the Kia boys." It's almost damaging to the Kia brand in the state almost at this point because it's senseless. But you have kids doing it because it's fun, it's infectious, it's viral. Now everybody else want to do it. So parents, parents and those figures who are figures to children, you really need to get grasp around what the fuck their kids are doing. Guns in the house, playing with it on IG Live. Where in the hell did that become cute? Where? Like, oh, we about to know where? It's not cute. That's a serious ass whooping in a conversation. It really is. And you might need to run down the gamut of who your friends are. I swear to God, my aunt used to do it all the time. She had a notebook by the phone in the sunroom. All my friends, anytime I would go out, she had all my friends' name and numbers. Not because I wanted to give them to her, because she would sit there and ask me before I'm going, where you going? Who you going with? Name, number. How can I get in contact with them? I'm like, are you serious? One time I gave them the wrong number, but I understood it as I got older and I became practicing that habit. So you really got to take hold of your children. They're your responsibility. You should see the gun too. It was like 22. Okay, I did. I saw that. I'm sitting here thinking like, who is playing with this gun like this? And you can hear parents and you can hear the family in the background, like camaraderie in the background. And it's like, so y'all are that distant from them. Y'all can't peep in the room to see. I swear I could be sitting there like, what the fuck y'all doing? Get that. Come on. I told somebody, the parents have to be charged. As a gun owner, you must secure your weapons. Even if you have adults in the house, it's law, period. If you looked at the kids' pages, they always were posing with large caliber guns. And now that is dangerous. Now, Facebook will go and remove something about coronavirus, something about Russian bots and some shit like that. But they'll let this kind of shit stay up on their social media pages. That to me is a problem. They recognize young children. And if I upload a YouTube video or say what video and I got the young kids cursing at the grandmother, that video gets striked, right? It's coming down. Ain't no nudity. I ain't posting no guns. And that's fine. Take it down. I understand that. But everything else in the world, we can allow them to post with guns and shit, and that's not screened or checked. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That's sign one. That stops it right there. We don't promote that. I don't think it's hot or cute for a child to be waving guns. Why is your life so dangerous that you need to be walking around here with a gun? Like, that's the conversation. How can I as a parent make that safe for you? Like, are you kidding me? But you can only do so much when it's not just you that you have to worry about controlling. It's everybody else that they're engaged in. It's just like, it becomes a domino effect if you don't take them by that fucking tail at the young age to know right from right, right from wrong. Then, you have people posing with guns at the age of 12. When I was 12, I was trying to go to Seabreeze, which was an amusement park. When I was 12, I think yo-yos and shit was out like then. Are you kidding me? A gun? That shit is crazy to me. Irresponsible. Okay. Oh no, I can't watch that. I just wonder why the cops are trying to frame it that way. Right. That's what I said. I said, and you can literally see in the video that the girl went to go pick it up to like sort of, but again, because you're 12, you don't know any better. You pick it up facing you, and you pick it up with almost with your hand on the trigger. So it's like definitely in the wrong hands. Definitely, some people are calling it what it was, an accidental shooting, but others are calling it murder suicide for the click and views. Nah, this is an accidental shooting to me. I definitely saw that and said I definitely didn't think she wanted to take her cousin's life. Hey TC, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming through. They were in St. Louis, right? Yes. Kansas City. That's St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis. Yep, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Shit is crazy. All at a birthday party where a bunch of family is there. I can only imagine. Good morning, Jay Parrish. Y'all have a great day on purpose. Yes, yes, absolutely. You too. That's what it was. It seems with the younger generation. It's like risking your life because they are desensitized. They are exposed to too much at a young age. This new generation does not value life like we do. It's scary. It is. Good for your mom. I like that tactic. It was crazy. I used to be like, okay. I used to tell people, if my aunt calls you, just know she's just being nosy. Tell her you don't know where I'm at. That was no, you could granted that was the days, but right before the cell phone started popping off. Oh my God. 2004, 3. People ain't really have cell phones, and then they were the big Nokia ones, and everybody thought those were hot. I'm so glad phones evolved because I cannot imagine walking around with a dinosaur again. Guy, love. Good morning to you. Good morning. I was knocked out. Someone called. Rude as fuck. Glad someone is live. Not sure if the topic yet, but my weapon stays in my safe. Okay. Oh yeah. So right now we're talking about the 12-year-old girl who fatally shoots her cousin, then herself while on Instagram Live. And I was saying I have the video clip, but I'm not going to share it due to, it might be too graphic for YouTube and it violates the community guidelines. But we were just saying how some people who saw the video, especially police, are classifying this as murder suicide. And if you really see it, it's really not murder suicide. It's an accident, which goes on to the bigger discussion. Why are we having these kinds of accidents in households where people should know better? It wasn't like they didn't know folks were coming over. It was a birthday party celebration with the family, and we had minors and olders because the person whose birthday party it was 14. So what are we doing? And then it's the 14-year-old's gun there, and so now it becomes a bigger question: how the fuck does he have a gun, and why does he have a gun? What is going on around my 12-year-old daughter? Like it's all so many questions. Good morning, Catherine Powell. Good morning. It was so sad to hear that it happened here in Philadelphia where I live. The meth lab with the baby, the 12-year-old child. Yeah, that was very sad to me. My mom ain't play that. She was hummed in. I couldn't say I was going here and was there, or it was my right, baby. Yeah, TT was on me. It was like, where you doing what? The media is the indoctrination of the children and youth. That's why being a parent is important. Yes. The issue is that guns should have been locked up, period, point blank in the end. The famous twins stay posting pics with guns, have been in multiple shootings, and has not been held responsible yet. They make music videos as well. Now, I just recently read that the famous twins were caught up in something recently, locked up. I'm going to have to talk about that on Friday, but I did read something like that. But them too, I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable. You have to be very careful. It's a lot of people who post videos with Glocks and guns on these social media sites. And then, they tag it, hashtag it, let me keep it real. Twitter will cut down like all kind of freaky hashtags on Twitter, right? But you can see a hashtag with loaded, cocked and loaded, all these guns tag hashtags, and it's pictures. But it's okay. It's not okay for the other stuff. It's like we really have to get on one accord here. Some people say they like guns on the street because it kills the community. It does exactly what we say we don't want it to do. It kills us. We're using it against each other, So we do got to take accountability. I don't get the parents these days. We're all grown up around the same era. Like, what the fuck? Younger and younger. Right. Listen, I am that nosy mom and granny. My kids call me the interrogator because I ask all types of questions. When they ask, I can't go or do. I grew up around guns. We never had access to them. They were locked up in the case. Responsible parent. True. Why? No. They keep weapons out due to impending threats, lack of parenting, and ignorance. Really? So, wow. Wow. Keep weapons out due to impending threats. So you're so threatened in your regular life that you need to keep a gun accessible. That's deep. That's deep. Realistically, our youth stopped valuing life starting in the late 80s, early 90s when gangster rap, Boys in the Hood, etc. came out. Everyone was suddenly part of a gang and drugs and violence. That's a very good point, that gangster rap, because you can see a lot of the behaviors tied to what they see in rap music and on the screen. And even when you get rappers come out here to say, don't believe that shit, everything ain't real. Even I think Lil Durk came out and said, you can't be mad. These rappers are buying these fake chains. You know, it's part of the culture. It's celebrated, you know. So yeah, it's heavily glorified. It's so disappointing. I really feel many people should not have children. Maybe tell me about it. They were shooting at females. They had a fight with Hit 2, I believe. Accidentally took their step and a child out too. Oh my God. Good morning, baby. I love my pre-internet brain. I forget my phone everywhere. I'm old these days. Okay. Good morning, Shay BZ. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning to everybody too. Thank you for being here. If you would please take a moment, hit that like button, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So those were our two stories today in terms of accidents. We had the fentanyl death, the man charged with the 12-year-old, his nephew's child death after making him clean his drug lab. And then we had the 12-year-old who fatally shoots her cousin and then herself accidentally on Instagram Live. And they both were absolutely accidents, if you ask me. Now, let's get into the portion of the show, local news, where we're going to talk about missing. Now, these are some very, very interesting missing stories. So the first story that I have, and I also wanted to just, I touch on a bunch of stories, different cultures, different backgrounds, different, everything. So I'm not all about, just finding stories that might support just one community or just like woe to the people. I want to talk about everything because I feel like all crime stories in some way, shape, or form are connected. And if you can learn one thing from one situation, you can always apply it to another similar situation. So that's why I always like to talk about everything. It's best for us just to know what is going on and how can we prevent it. So in this first one, we have a Naomi Irion. Now, this story is really, really sad, you all. Really, really sad. And I really wanted to bring it up because many of us, could be in this situation. So, young woman was abducted at about on March 12th as she was waiting in her car at a Walmart parking lot for a shuttle to her job at Panasonic. So listen to this, y'all. So last week, the teenager, this girl, she pulled into the parking lot around 5 a.m. and she spent time on social media from about 5:09 a.m. to about 5:23 a.m. And then a man authorities describe as lurking in the parking approached her vehicle and got in around 5:24 a.m. The vehicle then drove out of the parking lot a minute later. Her car was found abandoned 3 days later next to a Sherwin-Williams paint store. Her brother said he saw surveillance footage from that morning which showed a man wearing a mask and hoodie circling her car. Maybe he was to make sure there were no witnesses before he got into her driver's seat. So my question was, now how he going if she's sitting in her driver's seat, how does he get around, open the door, get in her driver's seat and drive off? Well, they're saying he came up behind the car and forced his way into the driver's side of the car. Maybe her door was unlocked. He either said or did something to make her move to the passenger seat, and then he drove her car away to an unknown direction. So he was later taken into custody, and he's expected to be arraigned on Wednesday. They were able to apprehend him. However, she is yet to be found. So her iPhone as well is missing as well. So He's currently being held on bail, $750,000, and they're asking anyone for any information about where she may be to call the local authorities. Poor woman just pulling into a Walmart for her job, to do her job, to catch the shuttle, something she's done all the time. You got to remember, when you do routine things that involve other entities, for example, she's going to work, so that involves her driving to Walmart, parking her car, waiting for the shuttle, 5 a.m. in the morning, especially, it's dark or maybe darker or lighter. People are watching you. And so this man must have been watching her. He got in the car, took off. Now, I'm praying that they find her alive and safe, but we know how these stories typically end. Um, I don't want to say rest in peace or anything like that. I just want to send my condolences to the family. I hope you find this young woman, and I hope anybody else who may do something similar, where you're going to work and you may park somewhere, or you may take some route, every other couple of days, take a different route. Or I do the same thing with my dog when I walk, and we never walk the same route every day. So we got 4 different routes, and I switch my routes. That's just a safety precaution, because you never know what fuck ass is watching you, our most vulnerable populations, and they may try to attack and apprehend you. This lady didn't think she was going to lose her life the day she's going to work, so it's very, very sad. It was very sad to me. I saw it and I said, oh, wow. Now, no one will know where she's at. The 12-year-old should have known better than to be playing with a gun. You know what, Catherine? And then, what got me the most was that, the 12-year-old didn't know that she shouldn't have been playing with it, because of the way she picked it back up was literally her thumb on the trigger with it facing her. Like, she thought she was picking it up, like, and pointing it the other way. She literally picked it up with her thumb on the trigger and it facing her. It's like, wow, you really are too young to be handling something like that. Will Smith is a hero, that says it all. Okay, B1, I get what you're saying in that comment. For those who are just coming in the room, if you didn't hear earlier at the top of the show, we already have lawyers using Will Smith's defense, his slap, as their defense in their case. Red ball it back, but listen, when you say Will Smith is a hero, trust me, I get you, and that says it all. Stepfather. I'm sad and embarrassed by some of these mothers. I agree. A lot of these women shouldn't. Good morning, by the way. Where are people getting all this fentanyl from? Come to find out, it wasn't even real fentanyl. This man making fake fentanyl opioids in his house, which is even worse, because he's dealing with other chemicals that shouldn't even be consumed by the body. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But I think it's our community's fault for claiming music as a part of our culture when we don't control it. That's true. That's true. I mean, and then you got to think, how much of the music are you consuming? Are you just listening for listening pleasure, or are you actually consuming this to change and identify your lifestyle? Like, am I listening to a song to then go out and make some kind of change, or am I listening to a song in this moment to celebrate whatever I'm doing? And I think people get that distorted. You hear somebody in a song talk about what they're going through, or their love story or something, and then you automatically say, I need that, or I need to be in that place. Well, it don't work like that. But some people don't have that illusion break off. They have to be dreamy with it. They Lil Nas with it. The new drug here in Philadelphia is Trank. Is that horse tranquilizers? Because I heard this girl was telling me and my friend, we went to her house to have dinner, and she was telling us the story about her friend. She said her friend uses horse tranquilizers. And I said, excuse me? So is that what you're talking about? Because I heard about that shit. That's some new shit. That part, we don't control it, but they still allow themselves to be used as a destructive weapon in our community, and we support it because we want to see our people do great. It's all chaos. Yeah, it is. And we need the conversations, though. We don't have those kind of healthy conversations on TV enough, or in the media enough. And when we do, I'm not gonna lie, they're boring. They don't hit the nail on the head. You want to get someone like Tyler Perry to come in and have the conversation, or someone, Oprah, great. But those aren't the folks we want to see having those conversations. It's not appealing to the generation. You need someone on their level who understands and gets it to have that conversation with them. And I think it's laziness, and I think a lack of effort is as to the reason why we don't really have that kind of artist who is interested in, having those conversations on a grandioser scale. it's funny because you have celebrities who've came out and said, I'm not doing drugs no more. But like Future, I don't, he said he's not drinking no more. But now he has music out saying, I was doing good when I was drinking. Maybe I should go back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have all of these different things that influence the children in their minds. It's someone who knew a routine. Absolutely. So sad. Yes, you have to change it up a bit. Okay. Ain't no way you get me. I learned that too much. While I'm serious, women get protection and keep alert. Yes, definitely switch up. He been stalking that parking lot. I hope they find it. I do too. I said the same thing. I said all this lady was doing was going to her fucking job. All she was doing. And then you, asshole. Right, I agree. You can't be a creature of habit. You have to switch up and can't let people know your every move because you're on a regular schedule. They will follow you. Yep. So many distractions. I'm also saying that they glorifying black violence and ignorance by making Will Smith a hero. That's why. Exactly what I said. And there was so many media outlets who didn't want to say nothing bad about Will Smith. And so they, their topics was stuff like, what is alopecia? Is it insensitive to talk about it? And it's like, okay, great angle. What the fuck is wrong with people? They trying to get high. Okay. Music is a form of programming. For that reason, I limit the type of music that is played in my home. My TT used to do that too. She took my brother Lil Kim album when she had her breast out. She said, "Give me that album." She took it right from him. I said, "Whoa, what the hell? What the fuck? Why can't people just 420 and chill?" Yeah, baby. Yes. When I tell you that whole conversation she was telling me about tranquilizer has been out for 2 years here in Philadelphia. Yes, it's mixed with horse tranquilizers. What is wrong with people? Horse tranquilizers? You trying to be dead. You trying to be dead. Yo, I thought he should have said something after his baby mom was killed at a bowling alley. He ain't gonna say nothing. And now they're saying that her death may be tied to his gang affiliations, which we'll talk about on Friday. But what? Good morning. Good morning, Red Wings Hockey. Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for coming through. All right. So the next missing story case. And so to wrap this up, I hope they find her body. The man is being held on bail. But I do hope they find her body. And I was waiting to see if her job was going to release a statement, condolences, or something like that. Just something to smooth it over because she was on her way to work, but nothing yet. So now the next story, really, really sad, is Teneisha Griffith. So this young lady, her body was found recently. So the body of a missing Tampa area mom was found late last week in a remote state forest well outside the city. And so what they're saying happened was, according to her family, she had finished her shift with Amazon and returned to her home around 3 p.m. on Friday, March 18th. As previously reported by the Times, she texted with her father sometime on Friday evening, but her family grew concerned after friends reached out via Facebook on Saturday to say the young mom was a no-show at a previously scheduled event. She also failed to answer any further text messages or call her 12-year-old daughter, who was staying with her mother, an unusual move that her family particularly concerned for her well-being. She didn't respond to a group text on Monday, which is when the family reported her missing and failed to show up to work on Tuesday. And so they're saying that the Pasco County Sheriff's Office confirmed her death on Sunday evening with the permission of their family. They're not going to disclose any information as to the death of her, but what they're saying is that someone called around 1:30 p.m. on Thursday of last week about a body found near the southeast side of Wildlife Management area. The area where her body was discovered is about 50 miles northeast of Tampa, where she was reported missing. The body was subsequently identified as Griffith, and they're still searching for her white 2008 Nissan Altima. So sad. And did I put the picture up of her? Oh, let me put the picture up of this woman. So sad. Here we are, another woman, home from work. So between her getting home from work and she loses contact with her family. Again, to me, it sounds like someone who knows her, someone who's familiar with her routine, someone close to her. I'm waiting for more details to come out. Y'all know, I always say, where were the signs? Because the first thing I'm gonna ask is, who were her lovers? Who was her significant other, boyfriend? I don't know what her situation was. Where are they? What do they have to say about this? Because I find it very, very ironic that once she got home, it wasn't while she was out. It was once you got home to who goes specifically to your house unless someone knows it's you. So it's very sad, very, very sad. Mother of a 12-year-old, and it's everybody's trying to do their right thing and live their life. When you get horse tranquilizers from in the first place, baby, are you going to the vet? Like, how are we doing this shit? Listen to Tim Blaine Black. Also, do a regular walk around the exterior of your home. Check that the windows and doors haven't been tampered with. I do it every once in a while. That's a very good point. Yep, I agree. I think that slap was staged. Chris Rock ticket sales are up 800%, and all of his shows are sold out. I was telling him this morning about that show, about him being sold out. The drummer Keith Moon for the band The Who passed out on stage at a rock show. Horse tranquilizers caused him to pass out in the middle of a song. I mean, it's in the title, horse tranquilizers. They knock a fucking horse out. What do you do? Your risk? People are playing with their lives. They're playing with their lives. They're playing with their lives. All these missing women is crazy to me. I've been following Alexis Ware, missing person. She just vanished. Oh, let me put that down. Alexis Ware. It's shocking to me. I find so interesting about these missing folks is that these when people are doing their regular, and they end up missing, to me, in my mind, I always suspect foul play, something personal, someone close to them. So I read these two stories in particular. I'm like, you got one sitting at Walmart waiting for her ride, the shuttle. Then you got one coming home straight from Amazon. That is really, really weird. That sounds way too familiar to me. So I'll stay tuned to that. All right, and then in the last missing story, it's coming out of Chicago. We have a transgender woman who was found slain in the trash can. Now, this was very, very it was very hurtful to just hear the details of this story, but we got to talk about it. We really got to talk about it. So what they're saying happened is that police are investigating the apparent murder of a transgender woman who had been reported missing before her body was found in an alley by garbage workers. So they're saying that Tatiana Labelle was found beaten to death in an alley near the intersections of South Ingleside Avenue and 84th Street shortly before 1 p.m. on Friday. The Chicago woman had been reported missing by her family 5 days earlier. And so once the garbage people pulled it up and the garbage flipped over and everything fell out, says a neighbor who wasn't identified. Investigators released little information regarding the woman's death. They haven't officially identified Labelle, and no arrests have been made. Detectives are still investigating this as, of course, a homicide. The slain's 33-year-old family, however, confirmed her death. Her family is now begging for an arrest to be made. The way in which she was brutally murdered is so heinous that there is no way we can reactively just say something. We have to become more proactive. Dr. LaShawn Latrice of Black Lives Matter, Women of Faith. Labelle's death marks the 7th known murder of a transgender person in the U.S. so far this year, according to the Human Rights Campaign. And that's still way too many. So I thought this was interesting, that the fact that they found the only way she was found was in a garbage can, the garbage can. She had been reported missing by her family 5 days earlier, and again, we have to pay attention to these stories because when it's particularly to transgender women, police, law enforcement, detectives, they like to drag their feet sometimes. They like to placate that it could have been out of sex work. They like to placate all of those things instead of actually taking the time to do detective work. So they said, of course, no arrests have been made. No information about, the death, the autopsy, all of that stuff has not been released to the public. So what I'm going to do is pay attention to this story. I want to make sure that whoever the perpetrator of this murder is definitely caught, because it sounds to me like, in the manner of which the body was disposed, that they didn't care. Like, this wasn't, this was somebody who wanted to just rid someone of their life. And so makes me believe that it's somebody close to them, foul play, maybe a lover. But we're going to find more details to the story. And this kind of stuff happens all the time. It's just that, we rarely get to hear about a lot of these stories. Yeah. Yes, King Drama, I would love your take on Lex's Ware. Yes, I definitely just wrote it down. Like, definitely got to pull that one up. There's a war on biological women. This is crazy. It's like we are being hunted. Yeah, the Alex Ware case is crazy as fuck. I don't care if you feel tricked. You don't get to kill somebody. You don't get to kill somebody. People are so cruel because they have family. Everybody has family. Everybody belongs to something, Why is the LGBTQ not being light to this? I wonder they only speak up on things like cancel David Chappelle. Where's the outcry? Oh, of course. Of course, Of course that's what it is. All the twist and plot twists. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I might just do a little video on that. My thing is, there is no need to murder these transvestite who think they're women or men. Stop the DL killings. Yeah, all of the killings associated with transgenders, either male or women, definitely need to be investigated and considered in the same light of any other homicide. In my mind, that's a regular person. That could be your brother, your sister. That could be your friend, your coworker. No one deserves to be gone simply because of how they choose to live their life. No judging this morning. Okay, tell them, Coco. I'm looking, I'm reading, I see. My prayers to these women, families, and loved ones handled like trash. Pitiful. I agree with you, and we need to speak out for the most vulnerable of our community, and that includes trans and gay people in the Black community. All right, are we all putting our fists up in the air this morning? Okay, that's for everybody. Stop the killings, period. So her name was Tatiana Labelle, and again, I'm gonna stay tuned to this. I'm definitely gonna look into the Alexis Ware story. I might do an upload video today on that. Thank you for bringing that up. I love when y'all do that because I'd be so geeked to go find some stuff out and bring it to you also. Please drop whatever you can, anything, any new stories or anything, drop them down. And I don't know if my email is working or not, but you can send me an email or you can hit me up on IG at Roman L. Jackson. Hit me up on IG and send me whatever, so we can talk about it because we need to know. Okay, AJ, yes, that is the sign. I'll be putting this in the my comments and stuff like peace. All Black Lives Matter. Yes. This happened 3 years ago to my daughter's best friend. A date he was on was embarrassed. Oh, wow. Serial killers, all the class of people that society get. Whew. It's a lot of, whoa. Yeah. We all about to pull this off. All right. I had to talk about this story, even though I know it's passe, but it did come up. It came up and I wanted to make sure that we talk about it. So Jaywana Webb, she was the driver who killed the two pedestrians. And I'm going to play this little clip while I sip on a little bit of coffee because I'm going to dry my throat up. All right.
Police continue to investigate the crash that killed two state troopers and a third man on I-95 in South Philadelphia earlier this week. The suspect is being held on a number of serious charges. Action News reporter Maggie Kent is joining us live from outside Troop K Barracks in Winfield Heights with the latest. Maggie?
Sarah, that suspect, 21-year-old Jayana Webb, is being held without bail at this time, and we spoke with her lawyer earlier today.
You want to say to the families?
Let out of state police barracks yesterday wearing handcuffs that belong to the fallen troopers. 21-year-old Jayana Webb faces a number of charges, including DUI and third-degree murder in the deaths of state troopers Martin Mack and Brendan Siska and the pedestrian they were working to protect, 28-year-old Reyes Rivera Oliveras of Allentown. Her attorney, Michael Walker.
She's distraught, to say the least. Certainly she's distraught for the situation she's in, but more so that the car that she was driving struck 3 people, and those 3 people are now dead.
Police say Webb's blood alcohol content at the time of the crash early Monday morning was twice the legal limit, and she was speeding when she struck all 3 men along I-95 South near the stadium complex. Walker says this is his client's first run-in with the law.
She's extremely saddened. She is not a violent criminal. She has no criminal past, has no prior contacts with police whatsoever.
Families of troopers Mack and Siska are receiving community support via GoFundMe pages. The fallen officers, both of whom donated organs in death, are now guarded by a fellow trooper 24 hours a day until their burial. And the funeral plans still in those planning stages for those 2 state troopers. As for Webb, she's expected to go before a judge next on April 5th. We're live outside of True K, Maggie Kent, Channel 6, Action News.
So, I wanted to share that because I wanted, as I was reading about this story, I saw a lot of people, girl drunk girl in Pennsylvania. It's quick to label someone a drunk because of the extent of the crime or or the nature of the crime. As you can see, she had no pre-existing history. She never came in contact with the law. Simply first time. Now, it was really, really a bad thing. You definitely shouldn't drink while you drive. If you all haven't not had a chance, you should YouTube victim impact panels by Mad Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I actually watched several of those videos online because I have faced with someone who was actually, killed through drunk driving. So, but it's important that you realize that, DUIs are really, really bad. And so this girl has really messed her life up for the rest of her life. You can get a DUI your first time. This probably wouldn't have been a major thing, but because she took the life of 2 police officers, state troopers, and an innocent person, this is haunting her for the rest of her life. I don't, I feel bad for her only because, this stops this Black woman, this is her mark. I don't feel bad because you have to take hold of the decisions you make. I don't want to come off as a bad person or sound bad, but sweetheart, what the fuck? You had to be on your shit to be doing what you did and to take out 2 state troopers who were actually escorting somebody, pedestrian. It sucks. And I was trying to, I was reading some of, the post on Twitter and trying to get some feedback from it. And really, I was just discouraged by the fact that we turn our back against people so quickly instead of figuring out, okay, what's the rehabilitative measure in this moment? It ain't, for her, of course, she's going to probably get some jail time, of course. But I think the lesson in this for everybody to walk away from it is DUIs are no joke. Drinking while you're driving is no joke at all. You never know what fucking slurred incident might cause you to kill someone. And this was a sad story. It was a sad story. More so, I was sad about what's about to happen to her life. Again, I hate when people do these one little things that change their life forever. And it always goes back to the guy who was going for an interview and ended up wanting to rape the lady. Like, what are we doing? Are we not, like, what are we doing? I am always happy when I join your conversations. Thank you all. Thank you, Coco. I appreciate that for real. I really do. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll be happy to have conversations with you all and share this stuff too. I'll be like, nope, I'm saving that for the show. So thank you. We chat, we film. Yes, we can gag and roast each other without. Yes, we can. Yep. And I respect everybody's opinions. I really do. I don't care how you look at something. You may call me out on it. I love all of that stuff. I'm a really steward of having a great conversation with people. I do. I enjoy that. They're going to throw the book at her. She's done. That's what I said, Cash App. I said she doesn't understand. First of all, they weren't local municipality police. They were state troopers. State troopers are held at a such higher level because their jurisdiction is not just a local area. It's the entire fucking state. So now you're looking at, much stiffer penalties. It really is a sad situation. So sad, this world. And some of these people have become, they just taking up air and space. That's a crazy story. I somewhat feel for the cops, and the cops are negligent. Yeah, she's done for sure. She's done for sure. Is she the one who once tweeted she's the best drunk driver? I don't think she's that one, but I know what you're talking about. How is it that the drunk drivers usually survive? Because they don't kill no one. They may get into an accident and it may be their first, or they may do something, but I think this is worse because she literally took the lives of 2 state troopers. Hey, Hot Spicy T, good morning to you. Hey, it is the fact that they let her go and she ended up killing them. You think that's what it is? If you look at it, the drunk driver always survive because they are. Oh, that's what you were asking. How is that the drunk drivers usually survive? That is a very good question. I do not know the answer. That is a very good fucking question. That is a very good question. They aren't rigid on impact and usually suffer the less injuries. Wow, that's a very good point. Y'all gonna have me YouTubing videos. I love finding out stuff like that. Like, why are drunk drivers? That's gonna be the answer for next week. I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna have an answer for y'all. Okay, that's a very good question. Why are drunk drivers not the ones who are impacted the most during an incident? If you look at the drunk driver always survive because they're so drunk, they naturally protected, get a few scrapes and bruises, but everybody almost always dies or lose a limb. This story was crazy how it came back around in that twisted type of way. Right. I don't think she expected that. She just never caught before. She has a history. This wasn't her first time driving drunk. Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, I think we all got sort of a history that hasn't been caught. But even that, you have no criminal record as a Black female. Can you imagine what this does to you moving forward in your life? Like, I don't know if you was doing Instacart or Uber Eats or anything like that, but all of that shit is out the way. I don't know if you were working in education, but all of that shit is out the way. I don't know if you had some law or legal desires or anything like that, but all of that shit out the way. So then you start looking at her opportunities and it's like, well, you just now cut like 3/4 of your opportunities, at least in the near term future, out simply because of this. That has decision. That is the lesson though, y'all. We got to walk away from this knowing that, we go out too. Shit, any one little moment that we do can turn it. And I'm an advocate for this because, again, I told you I lost, not someone close to me, but I lost someone who I knew to drunk driving, and it was very unexpected. And so I'm such an advocate, and I have to tell myself, like, are you parking it or what are you going to do? So even consuming 420 and driving as well. So we just got to be mindful. She did not think this was going to happen like this. This is not her first time drinking and driving. I'm sure it isn't. Don't feel bad for her. She has been driving drunk all the time. Hey, Shay, hugs. Hey, thank you for coming through. Good morning. Yes, they show her other tweets. Oh, that was her. They made us watch them things too. And some people who was in them video used to talk to us. Back then I was young, but good. And white folks junk. Yes, you remember in school, the mad videos in school? Okay, yeah, mad videos. And it was another one. What was it? Don't do drugs or say no to drugs or something like that. We had to do all of those. 3 people are dead for 40 plus years. There have ads and education of the risk and hazards of drunk driving. She caused so much damage in a split second. She thought it was cute to drive drunk. I can't feel sorry for her despite her age. Usually the drunk driver is very relaxed during impact. They don't tense up. They pulled her over for DUI and let her go because they got a call about a pedestrian on the highway, and she tweeted she was a great driver and drunk and killed the same cops that let her go. Oh, that's when she tweeted. So that wasn't a past tweet. That was a current tweet. I'm thinking it was a past tweet. Oh, yeah, that changes a lot then. So she absolutely was very conscious of the fact that she was driving drunk. The fuck out of here. Don't, because Black will have you. I think the drunk driver survives so that they can live with the guilt, shame, and pariah of their communities. I know a girl whose father died, and he was the drunk driver. He died and killed others, and his family has been forever shamed. It hurts everyone. Yeah. I always be worried about that. Like, if my actions would accidentally kill someone else, the kind of shame I would live with for that. Like driving, like when I see pedestrians, I'd be like, oh shit, damn it. I'd be cursing them out. Are you trying to kill yourself? Especially the people who are in the middle of the road with those squeegees and they try to clean in front of your car. It's always like, baby, you could lose your leg. You can lose a limb. This is really a sad story. I found it to be sad because simply, considering that this was her first run-in with the law, given that she has, expressed clearly that she drives drunk or whatever, but I just assume that, this will change her life forever. I'll stay tuned. No, she's probably not going to get bail. Her attorney is asking for bail. Probably not going to happen. Again, these were 2 state troopers in the state of Pennsylvania, by the way, one of the harshest states with penalties ever. I mean, especially with DUI, driving while drunk, Pennsylvania. All right, so let's move into the last story of today during local news. And it's, of course, the Florida Amusement Park, the 14-year-old who dies after falling off the ride at the Florida Amusement Park. And so, just to give an overview context of this, the incident took place at Icon Park late Thursday evening. Witnesses describing the initial confusion at the scene. A park attendee revealed that several people had assumed that a piece of the ride had fallen to the ground when they got closer to the scene. However, witnesses said they could see a person laying on the ground. The teen, later identified by police as 14-year-old Tyre Sampson, was taken to a nearby hospital after falling from the Orlando free fall ride at the park. He later died due to injuries sustained in the fall. In a press release from last year, the attraction, which opened in December, was billed as standing at 430 feet in height. So now my question to you all is have you all saw the video? Have you all saw the video of the drop of him falling? Have you all saw any of those videos? And did you all want me to share them with you all? I only dropped down to King Run Sassy. Oh my God, don't we feel so treated? Thank you. I appreciate it. Your muscles are relaxed. Heading to work, had a great time ever. Okay, Rockwell, thank you for coming through. Have a good day at work too. Happy Tuesday. Happy Wednesday. Oh yeah, happy Wednesday. So many young people. Thank you. No one cares. The amusement park is responsible. And granted, it was chief of police and drunk. He ran off a cliff and died. My family endures that shame. 50+ years later. Wow. Was afraid to watch the video. Okay, I saw the video. Awful. You can hear the impact. Yes. Okay. So everybody saw the video. Okay, cool. Video was very, very gruesome to watch. I think it was even more gruesome the fact that it's out here for his family to see forever. That, that has to live out there in the world forever. Now, there's a couple of things that have come out, in the media about what's happening. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the accident report. So the accident report shares more details about exactly what had happened. So an accident report on the death of a teen at an Orlando, Florida amusement park reveals that his seat was locked when he was on the ride. So what they're saying is the harness was still in a down and locked position when the ride stopped. They're saying while the ride's magnets engaged when it was dropping, Sampson came out of his seat. However, he might have been too big for the ride. The operations and maintenance manual for the free fall says the maximum passenger weight is around 287 pounds. So they're always saying, you have to be careful when seeing if large guests fit into the seats. Check that they fit within the contours of the seat and the bracket fits properly. If this is not so, do not let this person ride. Well, Sampson, at 6'5", he weighed 340 pounds on a ride with a capacity of 287 pounds. So they're saying he was a big guy. He later succumbed to his multiple injuries and trauma. No criminal charges have been filed, but the investigation is still active. The free fall first opened in late December and is now closed. And so the family has now launched a full-on petition to have the ride actually closed. And so, what they're saying is that they're saying that the family's attorneys is saying that my cousin lost his life over this riot. I don't feel it's safe, and it feel it should be shut down before someone else's family have to go through what we are going through. The family's attorney, Bob Hillard, said that they'll be hiring their own investigators in addition to the state investigation. They noted that here's the most important thing I wanted to share with everyone. Hillard noted that Sampson was turned away from numerous other riots at the park prior to the fatal incident due to his large stature. He absolutely would have accepted if they said to him respectfully, "I'm sorry, but you can't ride it." He would be home right now getting ready for football practice. That's their responsibility. So what their attorney is saying, this is going to be an issue of lack of supervision and lack of training, straight up negligence. So they've also hired Ben Crump, who represented the family of George Floyd, to work on this case. Sampson fell from his seat at the riot, which is taller than the Statue of Liberty. And a distressing video of the moment has been circulating on social media. Of course, we extend our, the statement from the ride company, Slingshot Group of companies, the people who own the ride. They're saying we extend our condolences and deepest sympathy to his family and friends. We are working with the sheriff's office and riot officials on a full investigation. The Orlando Free Fall will be closed until further notice. What are you all thoughts on this entire situation? My opinion, owner operators are definitely negligent here. The key piece here is that he had been told on numerous rides at the park that you're too large to ride it, right? So now we have facts that they know how the procedure, they know how to look at a person and then let them know that, hey, it isn't a fault of they don't have that policy. Okay, so they do have a policy of it. Okay, so now we move to this specific ride. The policies that they've applied at the other rides, which he couldn't get on, did they apply that same thing here? And it becomes an issue of lack of training, lack of negligence, poor oversight and management. The dude literally should have not been on that ride. Now, let me show y'all this really quickly. Okay. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Come on. Computer going so slow. Why you do this to me all the time? All right, y'all. I'm trying not to rush, but come on. It's so annoying to me. So fucking annoying. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull this up, but it's just not loading at all. On. Oh, this computer is giving me the flux this morning. All right, hold on. Okay. All right, I want to show you all this real quick because this is more evidence that it was specific negligence on this specific ride. So look at this. If you can see the picture, look at how everyone else is fitting in the ride and look at how this man is fitting in the ride. Now, that's clear evidence that as the harness is secured on everyone else all the way down to their crotch, this man had it was a lot of slack here. It was not the same. It was not held down in the same light or same manner. Even more evidence. So it's going to come to clear negligence of this ride. The individual who allowed him to go on the ride, you can see on the video, if you watch the video, of him backing up, stepping back. It's very, very disheartening to know that. I don't know what would make this man think that it's okay for him to, get on this ride. Take a look at this as well. This is another clip of, just gives you an idea of him as a person. So completely sad. They say he was a football player playing football. Clearly anybody can look at this man and tell that he shouldn't have not got on that ride. What's so noting is that, it's 287 is the weight limit per, seat on that ride. The guy is 340 pounds. I'm not sure if you can look at a person and tell their weight and say, okay, he's about, maybe 15 or 20, pounds too much on this weight, but you can absolutely tell once they sit in that seat and it doesn't go down all the way. So negligence on their part completely. I don't know if he's gotten away with this before or if he's done this before, but if they got Ben Crump, I'm sure they're going to pull video footage of him allowing people on and off the ride, whoever this person was, the employee was, and they're going to find negligence. They're going to find points and moments of him letting people similar to him on the ride, and that could have been another opportunity. So there's huge liability here. There's huge risk. The family launched a petition to have the ride closed, but now they want the park closed, but the park is only closed the ride, and they're working with the sheriff's office. So there's no way for them to get out of this. Someone's definitely lost their life. Was so unexpected. What are your thoughts on this? Look at y'all coming through. Y'all coming through. No, I couldn't watch that one either. Okay. Good morning, Trey. Hey, good morning, Tracy. Good morning to you. So it was a faulty mechanic issue that the child fell, or the child playing around. He was too big to sit in that seat, and they didn't clamp it all the way down. Even though it may sound like it clicks, they're magnetic clicks. And so when they click on the inside, if there's still pressure keeping it from clicking all the way, even though we may have sounded, imagine dropping from gravity. And they said it was like 400 something feet, taller than the Statue of Liberty. Those magnets are gonna undo. They're gonna undo, and he just fell forward because it holds you in. But if they're holding you in like this because they're already loose and he's big, it just came off. So one can say, yeah, it was a mechanical issue, but overall it was negligence because he shouldn't have been on the ride. Whether it was mechanical or not, he didn't meet the criteria to ride that ride. And then I think they're going to even go further. Do you have signs out? Do you have things that are very visible for people to understand that this ride is not for you? Clearly it's not as visible because he was able to get on this ride. You permitted this man access to something that we said isn't, so they're not going to be able to get out of that. I saw that video. It shocks me that it wasn't a double check wasn't made. I mean, and then you see the way he's sitting in it. Any person would be like, no, bro, what are you doing? Crazy. Hey, good morning, viewers of you. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, of you. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. We don't get too many shares on the new side, on the the beef side. So thank you, of you. Oh no, they shouldn't have even let him on there. They need to be prosecuted to the highest extent. They definitely do. I agree with the family. This is so sad. Very sad. Yes. The person didn't check the ride. I saw a video of the boy moving the thing up and down before he took off. You see what I'm saying? And there's no way. And he's already, the thing isn't already out. So if he can do this, I remember trying to get on a ride with a heavyset friend. The bars wouldn't come down over him, so they wouldn't let him ride. Clear as day. What are you about to show us? I didn't show the video. No, I didn't show it. I'm not going to show it. Don't be scaring me. I don't understand how he wasn't able to ride any other ride, but someone authorized it, okay, for 300 plus pounds to be on this ride. And there goes the question, because they're going to say, okay, so the rides that he was not authorized to get on, let's go look at the tape from that. What did they say? So, okay, you might not hear nothing, but you can probably see, oh, I want to ride this. No, he can't. He's walking back. Okay, he couldn't get on, the Superman. he couldn't get on the Viper. Let's look at those kind of rides. It's very visible. Would any reasonable person say he can't ride this ride? It's going to come down to a reasonable expectation as an employee. You should have had like the judgment and the wherewithal that this individual did not meet the criteria to ride this ride. You can't get away with saying he met the criteria. Yeah, he met it, because we have the video from a whole bunch of people who are trained the same way you were, who also looked at him and said, he's not able to ride this ride. So what in your discretion made you think it was okay? And then that's what they're going to jump on. He's all fucked up. But the employee will be protected by the job. So it'll be more so the job having to speak on behalf of the employee, because they're going to come after the training. The employee is, you know, in litigation like this, they don't have the money. They're not really the ones you want to come after. You want to come after the owner operator who got the money, who have to absorb the risk, and they're going to speak on behalf of that employee. Like, you know, we did this, we did that, he did this, he did that. They're going to have to accept fault. I have never trusted these amusement rides. My family used to laugh at me, but not anymore. Okay. Right, Black Swan. And the fact that he told his friends, tell my mom and dad I love them if I don't make it off this ride. Baby, that is crazy. Yes, they're going to have a lot of evidence throughout that park. His friends are saying that on the way up. He was saying that the strap was coming up. I'm trying to hurt my heart this morning. Just wrong. I don't even like roller coasters. Yeah, it's so sad. With all due respect, a 14-year-old shouldn't be 300 pounds. Well, I think he was he was trying to play like football, professional football, future NFL draft pick. That young boy had dreams of buying his mama a house. I can't imagine the horror on that child's face as he fell. It's horrible to think. Closure, great description. Yeah, so they said they were like magnets in the buckle or something like that. Good morning to all the other. Hey, good morning, Silky Black. All the other rides refused him. Yeah, all the other rides, they were like, no, you can't. And they say he was okay. He was like, all right, cool. Let me go roll on. Let me go do something else. Now they are saying the harness was locked in place and basically his size broke the thingy that goes over his chest. If his size broke it, if it didn't broke it, you permitted this man access to get on a ride. At that point, once you permit someone access to get on something, you've accepted fault for what happens thereafter. Bitch, I don't care if I broke a toenail. I might want to come after you because you permitted me access on this ride with the expectation that I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be fit. I'm going to be able to do this. So whether you tuck me in or not, if I got off the ride and I got a concussion because my head hit something, that's still your fault. I mean, we still got to talk about this. You know, you don't get away with just because you think you locked them down. So you locked them down. He still fell the fuck out. Like, they're going to try Shay Beezy. They're going to try their hardest to manipulate this situation. Force, speed, distance, and his weight were against the locking system. Period. Anybody can see that. Stevie knew that. And he was in a whole nother state. And Stevie knew that sleep. That you putting this man weight on 400 feet off the air. Baby, y'all, that was straight negligence. Lovely Love. Good morning, Lovely Love. How you doing? Thank you for coming through. Exactly, Black Swain. I hate that he lost his life because he was just trying to enjoy kids' activities. And that's all it was, too. And then, you know what's worse? In the age of these fucking cameras is that everything is recorded and put out here. The parents and family have to watch that video. I mean, they don't have to, but it's sort of hard not to have that kind of access to it. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. It's all online. It's really bad. And then you can just, I mean, you see it all. You literally see, you know, like the person who put it out here, like, damn, I mean, I know it's sensational and you want to get your clicks and your views and you want to be viral, but at some point you got to be like, maybe I just get this to the mom. Like, I got it. You want to see it? Because I feel bad for them. Nobody want to see their child like that. Like, damn, that shit is crazy. I am a drinker and I will not drink drive, but I have once before and it scared the crap out of me. So I understand I don't drink. Oh, lovely. That's dope. Yeah. Yeah. Because you never know in a blink of an incident what can happen. And then not just for you, but somebody else who might be out there drinking, driving, and you just on the road trying to go get your groceries and shit, and they hit you. And then now you know what I'm saying, pissed off because somebody doing something. So it's sort of like both ways. Don't forget the negligence of the person who let him ride. Period. That's what I'm saying. They're going to try to like keep the fault off of him, not to blame him. try to keep, like, not shield him. I'm sure he'll be terminated and stuff like that. But I'm sure that they'll still understand that they can't sue him. They got to sue the corporate. They can't sue an individual employee unless there has to be something else. They have to come after the company in that terms. Then and I'm also wondering if the inspection of the park, if the park has had inspection records. Like, when was the last time you were inspected by safety, on each of these rides? Like, there's so many things. They should have never let him on that ride. He was a top level football player. I was shocked too about the weight, but looked up others. And that's what I did too. That's what I had to say. I said, well, now how much did he weigh? And when I found out he weighed 300 pounds, I said 347 pounds. I said, okay, that's about right for what, he gave what he gave for his height and his weight. I think, I just think that any person would have known not to put this man on that ride. Like, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? Right? He was just being a kid, excited somebody finally let him ride. It's so heartbreaking. Forever, this family would be tormented by this footage being under the internet. But they worried about taking down the coronavirus misinformation and everything else, Trump fake news and shit. But we can keep these videos around here circulating of actual living people dying and getting shot on camera and live. That is so insensitive to me. And I know you can't control people uploading stuff, but damn it, when I upload some shit, y'all can tell me quickly if it's content matches another content or something. So there's mechanisms in place. It's just that I don't think they care. I don't think they care at all. He just wanted to be included. That's it. It's sad. So we got a couple of things to stay tuned to on this story. One, we need to know it's sad to hear, but the autopsy report that'll give us more details in terms of the injuries sustained. To the incident report of the actual police incident report of what they detailed they saw happen. 3, we'll also have to hear more about whether or not the employee told him, what the employee said, or what the employee did or did not. We're going to have to hear some more details about the employee. So all of those things, I'm going to stay tuned. I will keep you updated on that next week. But I definitely wanted to cover this story because I felt like, wow, what a freak accident of nature. And can you imagine us all coming off a pandemic, nobody going to amusement parks? Now they're opening up, people, going back or not. Now we got to worry about if the rides are safe and if people are doing their job. And it goes to speak that they have to hire all of these people really, really quickly because not a lot of people came back to these jobs. So they're hiring people quickly to meet the demand as parks start opening up. People aren't going back to these jobs. Some rides. I remember last year when I went home, I think I went to amusement park. Was it with my cousin? I think it was with my cousin. Yeah, I think we went. It was that year or the year before. And some rides were literally closed because they didn't have the staff to man them. So this could be another situation where lack of training due to the hiring of new staff so quickly. A lot of different players and plays are at fact here. A lot of different things are at play here. So it'll be very interesting to see if they do manage to get this park closed. The family is really, really adamant about it. They don't think it's safe. If it's not safe for them, it's not safe for anyone else. And, we'll see. I'll stay tuned to this. Yes, there's no way that that's actually healthy. The NFL have the best doctors that will say it's safe, but it isn't. He trusted the workers to let him know it was okay. He didn't disobey anyone. He was compliant. Exactly. He really was. He literally, y'all, that's why I said they're going to be hard because you permitted me, by you saying, yes, you can ride, that meant that, yes, it's safe. Yes, you'll be okay. Yes, when the ride ends, you'll come back. Now, when I'm done, let's wear the nose because my expectation did not meet what you said. So it's gonna be a lot of things at play here. So thank you all for being here. It's about to go on 2 hours. So I got 4 minutes left. I wanted to say thank you all for being here. Please hit the like button. For those who are first time coming through, I appreciate you for coming through. And we check out the news. We do hot topics Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6:30 a.m. Mondays and Fridays is celebrity news. Wednesdays is local news. And then Fridays is like all kind of news, everything. I'm talking about all the kind of stuff, and I might drop my link. So join us again on Friday where we're going to cover some stuff. Just to give you a little rundown of what we did today. Today we covered Virginia lawyers are already, you guys, using Will Smith's slap as a defense mechanism in their case, although they did not get away with it. The jury said, no, ma'am. Speaking of, the Oscars is now launching a formal review into Will Smith's slap. We said that on Monday, though. We said that something would have to come out of this because, see, they didn't get the grasp of the public opinion, but we did. See, we saw it, but they were still in it. And I think as the week goes on, they're starting to see that public, even celebrities are saying like, whoa, what the fuck? When I saw Jim Carrey say, if Will Smith slapped me, I would need $200 million. I said, oh, okay. Now I see what's going on here. We cover Emmitt Till's anti-lynching law that's been enacted, making it a federal crime to damage, hurt, or assault someone based on the color of their skin, which is amazing. We covered the Don't Say Gay bill and how that's now signed into law, and how, you know, I really don't have no position on this other than the fact that the title is really, really problematic for me. You should never tell someone don't say something that's certainly in the culture. You know what I mean? So how about don't say use guns? You know, I wonder if you have that same kind of attitude. Then we cover Applebee's trying to get rid of their employees and lower wages due to high gas prices. And that executive ended up being fired after, you know, the manager came out with the email, showed the whole staff the emails, and gave everybody in the restaurant a free meal and said, I quit. And most of the staff walked out with him. And I agree. You know, you can't do that to me just because gas prices are higher and you bringing food in to us. I barely make money. So we talked about that. We covered the 12-year-old nephew who lost his life while being forced to clean up his uncle's, fatal fentanyl drug lab. Now it was so sad because he was on the bus headed to school, and one of the bus clerks looked and was trying to wake him up, but he was unresponsive, and that's when they found out that it was due. He was in the hospital for like 5 days until he succumbed to the overdose. So the uncle is now, in custody. So sad. Next, we covered the 12-year-old girl who fatally shoots her cousin, then herself on Instagram Live in a freak accident. Extremely freak accident. We always say that you should have your guns locked up and away from children. Now, this 14-year-old had a gun himself, and even that he shouldn't have had. Police are looking at this as a murder-suicide simply because if you haven't seen the video, if you follow me on Twitter, I retweeted it on my King Roman News Twitter page, so the video is there. But if you haven't saw the video, basically it didn't appear like it was a murder-suicide. It appeared like it was a freak accident. When the girl accidentally shot her cousin, she went to pick the gun back up, and the gun was facing her, and it triggered, and she pulled the trigger, and it disarmed on her. So a very, very sad story. We'll stay tuned to that. Next, we got into the missing portion of the show, and we covered Naomi Irion, who was parked at a Walmart, and she was waiting for her, sometimes Walmart hosts, pickup shuttles for you to go to your job. So she was waiting for her pickup shuttle, and someone got into the driver's seat, took off with her car, and she's been missing. The person has been apprehended. Car has been found, but she hasn't been found, so she's still missing. We also talked about Teneisha Griffith, who went missing shortly after coming home from her Amazon shift. Her family was contacting her, and then 3 days later, they find her body in the waste management site in Tampa, Florida. So they're still trying to figure out more details to this story. And I always say, look at the people closest to her. So rest in peace to Teneisha Griffith, and condolences to her family. Then we talked about transgender Tatiana Labelle, who was found slain in a garbage can. Now, her family had reported her missing for about 4 days. They hadn't heard from her. And so during pickup day, the garbage, you know how they flip the garbage into the truck? Well, her body was also flipped over as well, and that's how they recovered it. They say that the details of her body was very graphic, like she was beat to death. It was very horrible. And so right now, as of now, police have no suspects. They have not released any information. They have no details. And so what we want to do is make sure we keep our foot on their necks, certainly when it comes to our transgender population, because we know how they'll lag on the play. So rest in peace, Tatiana Labelle, and my condolences to your family. This was labeled the 7th homicide death of transgender women in America this year alone. So rest in peace. Next, next we talked about Jaywana Webb. And Jaywana Webb, she was the individual who tweeted drunk driving and then ended up killing 2 Pennsylvania state troopers and a pedestrian. Her attorney is seeking her bail, considering that she has no criminal history. However, as we learned today in the chat, that, you know, not only did she not have a criminal history, but she probably has a pre-existing history of drunk driving, given the fact that she got pulled over for drunk driving and she's tweeted that she was drunk driving before. So I felt bad for her, considering this was her first, but a little bit of that, it has been softened, considering that she knew she should have known better. But we'll see. Stay tuned to this one. I'm going to be curious to see what her sentencing is, because, you know, this is her first time. How many years she may receive in prison. You know, she certainly kills 2 state troopers. Again, their jurisdiction is the state, not just the local municipality. So it weighs a little bit heavier. And then we closed out the show with, you know, the story about the 14-year-old who fell from his death on the Florida Amusement Park ride, and how the investigation is being launched. The petition has been put forth to close this down, and how we just need more and more details about what really went on. And so again, my condolences to the family. Rest in peace to him, and I'm sure his friends and everyone who was there with him are also going to need a lot of different therapies. So any last different comments? Where we at with it? He trusted. Yep. Good show. Thank you, Avu. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I ain't here saying that it's healthy. That's the NFL standard, not mine. Have a wonderful day, Roman. Thank you, Shay. You have a good one too. You make learning about the news fun. Y'all I enjoy having a conversation with y'all too. Have a good day, Brick Girl. You too. The pressure cooker sent me here, and I'm so glad she did. Oh, thank you, Pressure. You know, Pressure is my girl. Pressure is my girl. I like her a lot. I really do. I enjoy her. I enjoy anybody who's direct with their, I like the just telling me. I don't need the fluff. So I enjoy her. Have a great day, Cash App. Thank you. Thank you for being here too. Great summary at the end of your 2 hours. I know. Thank you. I'll be trying to wrap it up, but thank you. I'll get what you're saying. Imagine what they say to the parents. I just think they bend the rules because they want the players like that. I think their standard is manipulated. Oh, we're talking about, I get it. B1, great discussion live. Everyone have a fabulous day. Yes, B1, you too. Ali, thanks for the recap. Ali, thank you for coming through, of course. Great topics. Have a great day. You too, Shay Beezy. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Survivor. Hey, MK, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Yes, I do. We remember that CTE didn't exist until 5 years ago, but they still deny it. Oh, baby, that CTE is something serious. Wow, just this year alone. Yep, just this year alone. And I think of the 7, only 2 have been solved. Only 2. All right, y'all. All right, we about to roll up out of here. I'm gonna I was gonna play some music, but we can roll up out of here. Have a good day. Have a good day. You too, Coco. What is our homework? The homework is to answer, why don't drunk drivers get hurt in accidents as much as the people they hurt? And so I'm gonna do my research to figure it out. So y'all gotta come. That's gonna be for next Wednesday, but y'all gotta come with why y'all think it is, because that is a fascinating question. Why is it? So somebody says because their muscles is relaxed, but the car ain't relaxed. The car still, is it because they got control? I don't know, but that's what we got to figure out for next week. And then, so join me join me on Friday, y'all, at 6:30 a.m. where we're going to do hot topics and celebrity news. And until next time, you all, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, Deuces.